Have you ever wondered why some people seem to naturally attract success, while others struggle no matter how hard they work? What if success isn't something you chase, but something you draw in? Before we dive deep, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because here we unlock timeless lessons on self-improvement, growth, and personal mastery. 1. Attracting success by growth. Success doesn't come by accident. It responds to who you are becoming. Far too many people believe that success is something that randomly falls into the laps of the lucky few, as though it is distributed by chance or circumstance. But the truth is, success has patterns, and those patterns are rooted in personal growth. The more you expand who you are, the more doors begin to open. Growth isn't a one-time event. It's a continual transformation that shapes your identity, sharpens your skills, and strengthens your resilience. If you want better results, don't simply hope for a miracle or wait until you feel ready. Instead, build yourself into the kind of person who naturally attracts opportunities. Success is not pursued. It is attracted by the person you become. Growth functions as a magnet because it increases your ability to recognize and seize opportunities that others overlook. Think of it this way. If two people walk into the same room, hear the same conversations, and face the same possibilities, the one who has grown in knowledge, awareness, and character will notice openings the other misses. Growth sharpens perception. It allows you to interpret challenges differently, turning problems into stepping stones. Success, then, is not about external conditions aligning perfectly, but about internal preparation meeting external reality. Without growth, even when success presents itself, you won't be ready to hold on to it. With growth, you not only catch success, you keep it. Growth is also the secret differentiator. In a competitive world where many people share similar goals, what sets you apart is your commitment to becoming more than you were yesterday. It is easy to rely on talent, luck, or connections, but none of those provide lasting success without the foundation of personal development. Growth makes you adaptable, and adaptability is what ensures you stay relevant in a constantly changing environment. A stagnant person clings to what they know. A growing person embraces what they can become. This flexibility attracts people, opportunities, and resources because others sense your trajectory and want to align with it. But growth is not glamorous. It requires daily choices that often go unnoticed. Reading when you'd rather be distracted, practicing discipline when laziness feels easier, and reflecting on mistakes instead of ignoring them. Over time, these small acts compound into transformation. The truth is, you never outgrow the need for growth. The higher you climb, the greater the challenges you face, and the more growth is required to sustain success. Those who stop growing eventually decline. But those who embrace growth remain fresh, relevant, and magnetic. Ultimately, success comes as the echo of growth. When you grow in wisdom, you make better decisions. When you grow in discipline, you complete what you start. When you grow in character, you gain trust. And when you grow in vision, you inspire others to join you. Growth expands the field of your influence and draws in opportunities that match your new level. If you want to know the future of your success, examine the trajectory of your growth today. Success is not waiting for you in some distant tomorrow. It is waiting for you to grow into it. 2. Mindset before money. Most people think success begins with money. They believe that once they earn more, everything else will improve: confidence, relationships, opportunities, and even happiness. But this belief is backward. Rohn wisely taught that wealth is never the starting point. It is the byproduct of who you become. Money is not the foundation, mindset is. You cannot build lasting wealth, influence, or fulfillment on a broken or limited way of thinking. Mindset is the soil, and everything else in life is the harvest. When you sharpen your thinking, opportunities begin to appear where before you only saw obstacles. For example, a fixed mindset looks at problems and asks, "Why me?" But a growth mindset asks, "What can I learn?" That shift alone transforms setbacks into training grounds. The person who cultivates responsibility, self-awareness, and creativity will find doors opening that were invisible before. Money follows this shift. Wealth does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who think differently. By adopting a mindset of responsibility, you no longer wait for life to hand you results. You position yourself to create them. A powerful principle lies in moving from the question, "What do I get?" to "Who do I become?" Most people measure success by accumulation, how much they have, how much they can spend, how much they can show. But lasting success is measured by transformation, how much you have grown, how much wisdom you carry, and how much value you bring. When you prioritize becoming a person of depth, skill, and reliability, you inevitably attract money, influence, and respect. But if you chase money without becoming more, even if you succeed temporarily, you won't sustain it. Mindset is the foundation that makes success durable. Consider why lottery winners so often lose their fortunes within years. The sudden influx of money did not change their mindset. Without discipline, foresight, and financial wisdom, money slips away. In contrast, those who develop a strong mindset, discipline in spending, clarity in goals, consistency in habits, often turn even small resources into lasting wealth. The difference is not the money, it is the mindset. This principle extends beyond finances. The same is true for careers, relationships, and influence. Without the right mindset, any gift can be wasted. With the right mindset, even small beginnings can grow into abundance. Mindset also determines resilience. Success is never a straight road. There will be setbacks, delays, and failures. Money cannot buy the ability to endure hardship, but mindset equips you to persevere, adapt, and rise stronger. It is the invisible currency that multiplies visible results. By cultivating gratitude, responsibility, and long-term vision, you train your mind to stay steady under pressure and focused on growth. This stability draws others to trust you and to invest in your vision. Change the way you think, and you change what you attract. Money flows to value, and value is produced by mindset-driven growth. The clearer your thinking, the more precise your decisions. The stronger your mindset, the more consistent your actions. And the more consistent your actions, the more reliable your results. Money is simply the echo of mindset. Build the right mindset, and money will come, not as the main prize, but as the natural result of who you are becoming.
3. Personal development is magnetism. Personal development isn't just about reading books or attending seminars. It's about becoming magnetic. The true purpose of growth is not simply to accumulate knowledge, but to transform into a person who attracts opportunities, resources, and relationships naturally. Every skill you gain, every habit you refine, every insight you apply creates an invisible field of magnetism around you. People are drawn to growth because growth communicates value. When you grow, you don't have to chase opportunities. Opportunities chase you. Think of the people who inspire you most. They are not necessarily the richest, most famous, or most talented. Often, they are people who have invested deeply in becoming more disciplined, more generous, more consistent, more insightful. You feel pulled toward them, not because of what they have, but because of who they are. That is the essence of magnetism. Personal development enhances your presence, sharpens your energy, and multiplies your influence. Others sense your commitment to becoming better, and they want to be part of your journey. This magnetism extends to every area of life. In careers, the person who consistently learns, adapts, and improves is the one promoted, recommended, and remembered. In relationships, those who work on themselves, cultivating patience, empathy, and emotional intelligence become anchors of trust and attraction. In entrepreneurship, personal development translates into better decision-making, stronger resilience, and greater innovation. Growth doesn't just benefit you, it radiates outward, pulling in opportunities and partnerships that align with your value. But magnetism doesn't happen passively. It is earned through the consistent practice of development. Reading a book once will not transform you, but applying its lessons daily will. Attending a seminar will not make you magnetic, but integrating the discipline it teaches into your life will. Each choice to improve builds an inner strength that others recognize, even if they cannot explain why. This is why personal development is far more than an activity. It is a lifestyle. Every day you either strengthen your magnetism or weaken it through neglect. Personal development is also cumulative. The skill you build today may not show immediate results, but it compounds with the discipline you built yesterday and the wisdom you gain tomorrow. Over time, the effect becomes undeniable. Like gravity, your growth pulls people, resources, and opportunities into your orbit. The world pays attention to the person who has consistently invested in themselves because such a person represents reliability and vision. Everyone is drawn to someone who is clearly on a path of becoming. Ultimately, personal development is the most powerful form of magnetism because it makes you valuable beyond circumstances. Trends may shift, economies may change, industries may evolve, but the person who has grown in resilience, creativity, and adaptability remains in demand. Growth creates timeless value. When you choose personal development, you are not just learning for yourself. You are expanding your influence, increasing your attractiveness, and positioning yourself as someone the world cannot ignore. In the end, the world rewards those who refuse to stay the same, and magnetism belongs to those who commit to becoming better every single day.
4. Becoming attractive to opportunities. Have you noticed that opportunities rarely chase anyone? Life does not work in such a way that rewards fall from the sky without reason, nor do doors magically swing open for those who have done nothing to prepare themselves. Instead, opportunities show up in the places where they sense readiness, where they see diligence, where they find someone who has sharpened their tools long before the moment arrived. A Stoic would remind us that fortune favors not the idle dreamer, but the one who has practiced discipline in private, long before the stage was set in public. This is why people often marvel when someone seems to have sudden success, failing to see the years of invisible preparation, the countless hours of training, the lonely nights of reading, refining, failing, and trying again. Opportunities are not accidents. They are magnets drawn toward preparation. Think of a farmer preparing his land. He tills the soil, removes weeds, and waits for the right season to plant. To the outsider, it may appear that the harvest comes suddenly, but in reality, it was the patient cultivation that made it inevitable. Likewise, when you cultivate your mind with knowledge, your body with discipline, and your character with virtue, you begin to create conditions where opportunity can take root and flourish. The Stoics would call this living in accordance with nature, not passively waiting, but actively aligning yourself with the order of things. Nature rewards effort, and effort creates readiness. When you've built the skills, the discipline, and the mindset, you no longer need to chase after chances as though they are scarce treasures hidden from view. Instead, doors begin to open almost effortlessly because the world recognizes competence. A prepared person doesn't need to beg for favor. Their actions speak for them. People are drawn to reliability, to those who have proven themselves capable of handling responsibility. This is why Marcus Aurelius urged himself daily to act with justice, fortitude, self-control, and wisdom. For he knew that a man who lives with virtue cannot help but attract opportunities to serve, to lead, and to excel. It's tempting to look at others and imagine that they are simply lucky, that some unseen hand has blessed them with chances that never arrive for us. But luck, as Seneca wrote, is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. To those who are unprepared, opportunities look like problems. To those who have trained themselves, the same moments appear as golden doors waiting to be opened. The question then is not whether life will present you with openings, but whether you will have made yourself the kind of person ready to step through them. This readiness is not just about external achievements, it is about inner strength. The Stoics remind us that true preparation is mastery of the self. Discipline is not merely about waking up early or sticking to a routine. It is about commanding your own impulses, refusing to be ruled by fear, and having the clarity to see what matters most. When such qualities are cultivated, you do not need to run after opportunities. They will gravitate to you, because you have become the sort of person who can hold them without being crushed. So, becoming attractive to opportunities is less about charm or chance and more about transformation. It is about becoming the kind of individual whose foundation is so solid that when opportunity arrives, it feels natural, not accidental. Doors do not open by magic. They open for those who have forged the keys through patience, resilience, and unshakable preparation. And when they do, it will not feel like luck. It will feel like the natural consequence of who you have chosen to become.
5. Success as a natural result. Here's the truth. Success is not something you pursue as though it were a wild animal running away from you. It is something you attract by becoming the right kind of person. Many chase success endlessly, treating it like a finish line that keeps moving further with every step. But the Stoics remind us that chasing external rewards only leads to frustration because they lie outside of our control. Instead, the wiser path is to focus on who we are becoming, for character is within our power. Success, then, is not a destination, it is a reflection of inner growth. Just like gravity, success operates as a natural law. When a person lives with discipline, invests in their growth, and cultivates virtue, results flow naturally without desperate effort. A stone does not strain to fall toward the earth, it is simply pulled by the force of nature. In the same way, success does not need to be forced when your habits, your mindset, and your values are aligned with excellence. You do not need to chase, it comes to you, drawn by the quiet strength of your preparation. Invest in yourself daily, for this is the soil from which all fruits of achievement grow. Read, learn, and refine your craft even when no one is watching. Strengthen your mind, for it is the first fortress against failure. Guard your time, for it is the currency of growth. The Stoics would urge you to practice self-mastery, because without it, all pursuits of success are fragile. A man who cannot govern himself cannot govern outcomes, no matter how much he desires them. Success, therefore, is not granted to the strongest, but to the most consistent, the one who keeps planting seeds of improvement day after day until the harvest cannot help but arrive. Refine your mindset, because perception shapes destiny. To the Stoic, events are neutral. It is only our judgment of them that makes them fortune or misfortune. The same principle applies to success. Many people fail not because opportunity did not knock, but because they misjudged its form, mistook discipline for suffering, or ignored growth disguised as hardship. If you can learn to welcome challenges as stepping stones, to endure setbacks as lessons, and to see growth as its own reward, then success follows without fail. Understand also that success is not merely external wealth, power, or recognition.
Those can vanish in an instant, and to chase them blindly is to build a house upon sand. The Stoic view of success is much deeper. It is the flourishing of a soul that lives in harmony with virtue. When you practice wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, you have already succeeded, regardless of how the world measures you. And paradoxically, when you live in this way, the external rewards often follow, because people naturally trust, admire, and are drawn to those who embody such qualities. In this light, success is no longer a pursuit, but a natural result, a law of cause and effect. If you sow daily discipline, you will reap mastery. If you cultivate wisdom, you will reap clarity. If you live with integrity, you will reap trust. And if you persevere with patience, you will reap opportunities. You do not need to chase the harvest, you only need to keep planting seeds. In time, success will appear, not as an intruder you hunted down, but as a guest you invited through the life you built. Therefore, stop running after success as if it were fleeing from you. Instead, turn inward and ask, what kind of person am I becoming? Am I disciplined enough to endure hardship? Am I wise enough to learn from failure? Am I patient enough to wait for the fruit of my labor? For when these questions are answered through action, success is no longer a pursuit, but the most natural result of who you are. And like gravity, it will always find its way to you.
So, let me leave you with this. Don't chase success. Become someone who attracts it. If this message inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights that will transform your journey. Remember, success isn't out there waiting, it's waiting for you to grow into it.